So today we're going to be reading James chapter 1 verse 27. Pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their trouble, and to keep oneself unspotted from the world. So in the previous verses, James was condemning people who said that they are religious, pious, beyond like human capabilities, right? Who would label themselves that I'm religious or I'm spiritual. So James is kind of coming down on these people, but for a better cause. You know, we have a higher standard in God. God is perfect. God is holy. And James is not restricting religion as placing it as a bad thing necessarily, because now I know we hear today that I'm not religious. I am in a relationship with God, you know. Whether you call it a relationship or religion, you know, I guess it's a faith. It's like a belief system that Christians believe in. So whether you call it religion or a relationship, it's basically the same thing. But God is pleased with those who are, one, believe in his son, Jesus Christ, but also takes care of the widows and the children. Now, I know this is maybe a little archaic, but during this time when James wrote this, they were the most destitute, the most vulnerable of populations out there, because women couldn't work, you know, and if their husband died or left them, they were basically left destitute, you know, no one to care for them. So a lot of times we see in the Bible where, you know, widows have been forsaken. Look at Naomi and Ruth situation, even in the New Testament, where the apostles really took heed to the widows and the orphan, because orphans can't work and women at the time couldn't work either. So they were really a vulnerable population. So James is really kind of reminding us that, you know, God's requirement of religion is to really take care of the less fortunate. You know, there is something very pure and something very spotless, right? When we take care of people who are in need, and not just a one-off take care, but a constant thing. The apostles in the New Testament did not just, oh, here's a bag of food and give it to the widows and the orphans. They took care of them continuously because their needs daily were being unmet. So they tried their best to gather from churches all that these widows and orphans needed on a daily basis. This is the kind of expectation that God has for his children, that we must be always conscientious and aware and caring for and praying for those who are less fortunate than we are. Not a once a year type of thing around Christmas or Thanksgiving, but continuously, daily. Also, James writes that the requirement of religion that is pure and undefiled is to keep yourself away from the world, unspotted from the world. Now, none of us have achieved this. We have not kept ourselves spotless from the world, because all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But now that we are a new creature, we must be diligent to not so much isolate ourselves, but to protect ourselves from being spotted with the sin of this world. It's important because as we keep ourselves away from those things that would cause us to sin, God is glorified. We are more in his presence, and we reflect him more in all of our doings and our comings and our goings. And God is exalted. God is looked upon. It's all about God when we do that. When we do these things, we are displaying the true, pure, and undefiled religion that is acceptable and pleasing to God. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video and comment below and share your thoughts. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok